Well, now we've got some real-life Ghostbusters in studio with us, because at this time of the year, tradition has it that the veil between this world and the next world is at its thinnest. And interest in the paranormal has been steadily on the increase, fueled by movies and books and life itself. Joining me in studio, we have Hugh Gallagher and Elaine Floyd from the County Antrim Paranormal Association, and we have Mike Hirons from Paranormal Ulster. You're all very welcome.
Thank you.
And in a moment you'll hear about, I went down to an 18th century mill with Warren Coates from the Northern Ireland Paranormal Research Association. So it's a bit like, it's like Monty Python. It's like the Popular People's Front of Judea and the Judean Popular People's Front. There's so many groups working in similar fields, all doing roughly the same thing. In a sentence, I suppose, Hugh and Mike, because you're from two different organisations, what is it exactly that you do? Hugh first.
Well, what we do is we investigate alleged paranormal activity. We would, if we get a phone call to go and come out and see someone, we would go out and we would talk to the client, as you might want to say, and listen to what they have to say. We would write down everything. We would then ask if they wanted an investigation carried out. If they do, we would then go back to our team, discuss it at our group meeting to see exactly what it is that we need to bring.
And is that similar to what you do, Mike?
Yeah, it's very similar. The actual, when we first meet the client as such, you know, we go through the same procedures. The only difference probably with me, I'm probably a little bit unique to most other teams out there in Northern Ireland, is that I bring the spiritual and the scientific together. I believe that when you're doing an investigation, you do need to have some sort of communication, some sort of link with spirit prior to actually using all the equipment and bringing the scientific in.
But at a basic level, it's the same thing. You're talking about contacting some kind of spirit life or some kind of activity on the other side, Elaine.
Yes, it is, very much so, yes. That's the Holy Grail, is to actually come face to face with a spirit and actually catch it on camera, as well as actually conversating with them too.
Now, we have a photograph. We should mention there is a photograph on our BBC Radio Ulster Facebook, the official BBC Radio Ulster page, because Steve, one of the techie people in C.A.P.R.A, which is the County Antrim Paranormal Research Association, he sent us this picture of a ghost, in inverted commas. If you believe it's a ghost, then you can text us and let us know you think it's a ghost, or if you don't think it's a ghost, have a look at it. We thought it was a kind of a mirror with a reflection, and if you've seen it, it's a picture of a mirror under the kind of stairs, and there's a reflection, and then if you look at it again, you think, oh, now I see what they're talking about. Don't know what it is, but it's up on the Facebook page, and see what you think. And in terms of Mike, one of the things you do is this EVP. You all do this kind of EVP, which is this electronic
voice phenomena,
which is like white noise on the radio, but people can be contacted through this.
Well, it's actually, electronic voice phenomena is actually captured. Normally the human hearing doesn't hear it. So you normally, when you're going through your recordings later, you would maybe pick it up. You don't normally hear it at the time. And most paranormal investigators spend many, many, many hours, as Hugh and his team will tell you, going through EVP. We spend half our life going through it. But there's two different styles. So you've got that, and then you've got what you would hear on the night, which would be like a disembodied voice. Right. That's what you hear there and then.
So it's like crackle, it's like interference, in a sense.
Through the static, the white noise, but with electronic voice phenomena, the human hearing range is quite limited. Actually, it ranges from 20 hertz up to 20,000 hertz. If you go below the 20 hertz range, you're into infrasound, and above, you're into ultrasound. So when we do EVP sessions, most of the time you don't hear what's being. It's only when you play it back and listen to it that you might capture something.
Well, we have a clip now. It's a 20-second clip, and it's. Was it you, Mike, that recorded this? This is a clip of people listening to... Yes,
it's my clip, It was captured in Kinnity Castle last year with my team. And basically, if you listen, we asked for a lady's name to be called out to a girl in the team, which was Rebecca. So if you listen, I think it's quite clear.
Rebecca, can I say your name, Rebecca? Now, if it says back, that'll be frustrating.
I'd be more impressed if he said Rebecca.
Yeah.
Can you say my name?
Rebecca, did you hear that?
Oh my God!
Did you hear that?
That is impressive.
It's one of those things people would say, it did sound like Rebecca. I mean, on the night, everybody went, oh! And that's the thing. That's the thing that gets me about the paranormal and paranormal investigations. That if you're in a situation where you're sitting in a dark place on a dark night and you're open to the idea that there is something going on in the spirit world and something happens, you can be convinced more easily than if you're sitting in the brightness of day know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just say, John, that we've just heard was captured on the Frank's box, which is a small device. It's like a radio, and it scans the AM and FM frequencies. So that wasn't done from the atmosphere. That was actually caught on a radio through signals, and basically, so it was intelligent response to what we asked there, and then you heard it. It wasn't, someone in another room. The skeptics are going to say, "Oh, that was someone in the background, maybe." That was actually captured. As you can tell, it's different. It was through a radio, and it scans all the FM and AM frequencies. So that's
What happens then when we all go digital and the digital switch over? There'll be no analog crackly radios anymore.
Most of the voice recorders we use are digital, and what does have to say to that? From a skeptic point of view, a Frank's box, and I'm not being derogatory to Maker, and I've heard it, and I've been in a group that's used it. It does scan the frequencies. It's a bit like one of our group members was a CB enthusiast, and he says basically it was just a broken pin pulled out, and it just continuously scans frequencies. And what he says was that people will hear what they want to hear, because as you're scanning through the radio station, you'll pick up wee words here, and people will try and associate to what they want to hear. This is coming from a skeptical point.
But this is the kind of debate that goes on in the paranormal about different things that people, and this is why you have different societies and people doing slightly emphasising different things and being involved in different things. I want you to have a listen to this, and you're going to stay with us, and we're going to come back and chat in a moment, because during the week I went off on a real life ghost hunt, I suppose, with Warren Coates, who you three all know from the Northern Ireland Paranormal Research Association, to get a feel for the kind of work that you do. Now, Ballydugan Mill outside Downpatrick, it was a flour mill. It was built in the 1790s, and it lasted as a flour mill, I think, for about 100 years, and then it lay derelict until Noel Killen took it on to redevelop it about 20 years ago. So his daughter Mary, she has grown up living there, and she described, first of all, some of the unusual things she's noticed about the place.